Good morning, guys. In the last session, we discussed about what is web services and why we need to go for web services. Web services is one of the technology that is used to develop distributed applications. So in the real time, nowadays, so many applications are having this functionality like one application should communicate with the another application. If one application is communicating with the another application, then we will call that application as a distributed application. So when we are going for distributed application development, interoperability is very important concept here. So what is the meaning of that interoperability? Interoperability means our applications are language dependent and our applications are platform dependent. So what is the meaning of language dependent and platform dependent? So Java application, not only with the Java application, one Java application should be able to communicate with any other technology specific application also. If our Java application communicating with the Python application, then it is called as language independent and platform independent. So when we are developing distributed applications, we need to make sure our applications are interoperable. Interoperability nothing but language independent and platform independent. So how to develop this distributed applications in the Java? In order to develop distributed applications in the Java, guys, we are having two approaches. One is called SOAP-based web services. Another one is called RESTful web services. So SOAP-based web services concept is outdated in the market. Currently, we are going with RESTful web services to develop distributed applications, guys. Okay, what is the meaning of REST API? What is the meaning of REST API? Any application which is providing the services to other applications is called as a REST API. Any application which is providing the services to other application is called as a REST API. So people will call that as a REST API, or people will call it as a RESTful service, people will call it as a RESTful web service, and people will call it as a microservice also. Multiple names are available. People are going to call that with the different names, guys, but the meaning is same. REST API nothing but the application which is providing the services to other application. And we are trying to understand the REST API architecture in the last session. So in the REST API architecture, mainly there are two actors available. One is called as provider and another one is called as consumer. Provider and consumer. So what is the meaning of a provider? Any application which is giving the services, which is providing the resources to other application, that application is called as a provider application. Then what is consumer application? Any application which is accessing the services from other applications is called as a consumer application. Provider application is available and consumer application is also available. Any application which is providing services to other applications is called as a provider application. Okay, so now if you see here, Make My Trip application available, IRCTC application is available. IRCTC application is the owner for the Indian Railways. Okay, so Indian Railways, what are the railway stations available, what are the trains available, and the schedules of the trains, everything is available with the IRCTC. So customer can communicate with the IRCTC application, can book the ticket also. So this is, assume that this is the end user. So assume that this is the end user. The end user can communicate with the IRCTC application, can book the train tickets directly. If a customer is directly communicating with the IRCTC for booking the tickets, this is called as C2B communication, customer to business. The customer is directly communicating with the IRCTC application in order to book the train ticket. And here, so some customers, what they will do, instead of going with the IRCTC application, some customers will go to Make My Trip application in order to book the train ticket. In order to book the train ticket. So here also, customer is communicating with the Make My Trip application, which is C2B. Okay, so end users can communicate with IRCTC to book the train tickets. End users can communicate with Make My Trip also to book the train tickets. But if you observe, IRCTC is one application, Make My Trip is another application, developed by two different companies using two different technologies. Okay, these two projects are not developed by using same technology, not developed by same company also. IRCTC project developed by government, this is a central government project, Indian government project developed by TCS or Infosys companies. Okay, then Make My Trip, it is a private company. The company name itself is a Make My Trip. They developed their own project. So what are the technologies they used? We don't know. Whether it is a Java project or whether it is a .NET project or Python project, or we don't know what type of project they have developed it. But end user can communicate with the IRCTC to book the ticket. So here you can go to irctc.com and you can book the train tickets. I'm an end user, I'm Indian citizen, I can book the train tickets by using IRCTC. If I directly communicate with the IRCTC to book the train ticket, then that communication is called as C2B communication. So I'm a customer, I can directly communicate with the IRCTC and I can book the train ticket with the IRCTC. Suppose if I don't like this IRCTC, then what I can do? I can go to Make My Trip. Make My Trip is giving some offer for me. Make My Trip is a private company, offers will be available. When you go for IRCTC, it is a government project, offer will not be available. But when you go for Make My Trip, it is a private company, some offers will be available, some discount will be available. So what I will do, I will go to the Make My Trip application and I will book the train tickets by using Make My Trip application. So when I am booking the train tickets by using Make My Trip application, then what is the meaning of that? So this, I am communicating with the Make My Trip. Here also I am doing C2B. But actually, Make My Trip company don't know about the railways in the India, because it is a private company. Government people cannot give the Indian railways information to the Make My Trip. So that's why what Make My Trip is doing here, Make My Trip company is doing a business dealing with the IRCTC company. So that is called B2B communication. Make My Trip people is a partner with the IRCTC in the train tickets booking. Make My Trip company will pay the money to the government to provide the IRCTC access. Yesterday, as I have told you, I am paying money for the WhatsApp people to give the access for me to send the WhatsApp messages from my application. I am paying money to the Razorpay company to do the online transactions in my website. I am paying money for the Teachable company to provide the video access for my students. So like this, third-party vendors, third-party companies are available. So as part of my business, I'm accessing their projects. So for that, I am paying the money. Yesterday, I have shown you what is the license cost I am paying for WhatsApp, for Razorpay, for the Teachable also. All are paid softwares only. Now, similarly, here, Make My Trip is a consumer application. Make My Trip want to book the train tickets for the customers. But Make My Trip don't have the logic to book the train tickets. Make My Trip don't know what are the trains available, what is the price for the ticket, how many stations available, how many trains available. Make My Trip don't know, because Make My Trip is a private company. So who knows about all the Indian railway system? IRCTC knows about the Indian railway system. So that's where Make My Trip people is doing business partnership with the IRCTC. IRCTC is a government project. The business dealing, Make My Trip will tell, hey IRCTC people, government, I will pay monthly this much amount for you. You give me your trains access for me so that my customers can book the train tickets in my website. I will pay the money for you. If the customer is booking the train ticket from my website, then I will pay the money for you, like that. The business dealing, per ticket some cost will be available or else yearly license will be available, or for each transaction some percentage will be available. Like that, they have some business model. So end user will communicate with the Make My Trip. End user is going to book a train ticket. Now here, end user will give the information. I want to book a train ticket. For example, Mumbai to Delhi, I want to travel by using train. Now here I will go and select the train here. Okay, so some Rajdhani Express is available. I want to book the train ticket like this. I will select it. Go ahead. Now, when I'm selecting this, pay and book now, IRCTC account details. So when I want to book the ticket, IRCTC username is required. After payment, please ensure you have entered the correct username. So if you want to book the train tickets in the Make My Trip also, IRCTC username is required. So that means there is an integration. So IRCTC project, Make My Trip project are integrated. So by using web services, Make My Trip project developed by one company using some technology, IRCTC project developed by some other company using some other technology, but both are communicating. That is called business to business communication. Customer will go to Make My Trip. Customer wants to book the train ticket. In the background, what IRCTC Make My Trip is doing, Make My Trip will take your passenger data who want to book the train ticket. Make My Trip will take the data from the user. Make My Trip will give the data to the IRCTC. Then IRCTC will book the ticket for the customer, will give to Make My Trip. Make My Trip will give the ticket to the end user. That is called B2B. Okay. So if you don't want to go for Make My Trip, then directly you can go to IRCTC. You can book the ticket. That is a C2B. And here B2B is also available. So end user will go to Make My Trip and book the ticket. Then Make My Trip will send that customer data to the IRCTC. IRCTC will book the ticket and IRCTC will send the ticket data to the Make My Trip. Make My Trip will give the ticket data to the end user. Are you guys able to follow me? What is B2B communication? When this B2B communication is happening, interoperability is required. For example, Make My Trip application is developed by using .NET. IRCTC application is developed by using Java. Then how Java application can communicate with the .NET application? Provider is developed by using Java. Consumer is developed by using .NET. So just I want to tell you that there are two different technologies they used in order to develop this application. So Java application communicating with the .NET application. .NET application communicating with the Java application. So that is called interoperability. That is called interoperability. So what is the meaning of interoperability? If one application is communicating with the another application, then that application is called as interoperable application. If one application is communicating with the another application, then that application is called as interoperable application. Java project is able to communicate with the .NET project. .NET project is able to communicate with the Java project. Okay, so that means these projects are interoperable projects. Interoperability. Sir, how we can achieve this interoperability? How to achieve the interoperability? To achieve the interoperability, these applications are going to use JSON for exchanging the data. To achieve the interoperability, so Make My Trip application will send JSON data to the IRCTC. Which passenger want to book the ticket, that passenger data Make My Trip application will send to IRCTC in the JSON format. IRCTC also will send JSON data as a response to the Make My Trip application. Why? Because JSON is platform independent. JSON is language independent. Java projects can understand what is JSON. .NET projects can understand what is JSON. So JSON is used as a mediator between consumer application and provider application. Consumer application will take the data, will send the data to the provider. Consumer application will take the data from the user. So when you go for Make My Trip to book the ticket, Make My Trip will take your data. So which station, from station to station, you want to book a train ticket, from which station to which station, from Secunderabad to Delhi, what is the journey date, what is the train type, sleeper class, okay, how many seats are required, what is your email ID, what is your phone number, what is your IRCTC username. Like this, Make My Trip will take all my data, then Make My Trip will give my data to IRCTC application. Then IRCTC will book the ticket with the data given by the Make My Trip and will send the ticket details back to the Make My Trip again in the JSON format. That data will be displayed to the end user. So that means here consumer application and provider application are communicating irrespective of the technology. Technology is not important here. Whether it is Java or .NET, it doesn't matter. What is the important thing here? The important thing is they are communicating by using one language that is called JSON. So now, so you people are attending the classes from different states. So I am from different state. My mother tongue is Telugu. Your mother tongue is Hindi for some people. Okay, but still we are able to communicate. How we are able to communicate? By using English as a mediator. So I'm speaking in English, you are understanding that. You speak in English, I will understand that. So we are communicating by using English. You are from different state, I am from different state. Your mother tongue is different, my mother tongue is different, but still we are communicating. So how we are communicating? By using English we are communicating. English we are using as a mediator. So similarly, when we are developing B2B applications, consumer application, provider application may not be developed by using same technology. Sometimes provider consumer also developed by using same technology. Sometimes consumer provider developed by using different technology. Sometimes consumer provider developed by using same technology. Sometimes they developed by using different technology. So that's why what we are using here, this .NET project will communicate with this Java project by using JSON as a mediator. By using JSON as a mediator. Consumer application will send the data to provider application in the JSON format. Provider application will process the request, will send the ticket data back to the make my trip in the JSON format. Consumer provider will be communicated by using JSON as a mediator. So when you are developing any web services or RESTful services or microservices, the most important thing that we need to learn is JSON. Without JSON, there is no distributed application nowadays. Now, so as I told you, so Ashok IT application front end is developed by using Angular, back end is developed by using Spring Boot. How this Angular and Spring Boot will communicate? Angular is one technology, UI technology. Spring Boot is one backend technology. How this Angular application will communicate with the backend? How the backend application will communicate with this front end application? So in this, JSON we are using as a mediator. So whatever the Ashok IT front end application is available, that front end application will display the data which is given by the backend application. Backend application will give the data in the JSON format. My backend application will give the data in the JSON format. My front end application, suppose if you want to log in, so you will enter your email ID and your password. When you click on login, this email ID and password will go to the backend application in the JSON format. Then my backend application will read that JSON, will verify your credentials are valid or not. Then it will send some other JSON as a response. So every request and response is based on the JSON format only. So if you want to develop any full stack application, then JSON format is going to play very important role. Consumer application, provider application. Consumer will send the data to the provider in the JSON format. Provider will send the data to the consumer again in the JSON format. So this is called B2B communication, which is business to business communication. This is B2B communication, which is called as business to business communication. When we are going to develop the applications with business to business communication, JSON is very important. Why we are using JSON? JSON is a language independent. Java projects can deal with JSON. Python projects can deal with JSON. Then UI projects, Angular, React will deal with JSON. .NET projects will deal with JSON. Node.js will deal with JSON is universal. Everybody can understand what is JSON. So that is the reason we will use JSON as a mediator between consumer application and provider application. So without JSON, we cannot develop these distributed applications. Are you guys able to follow me? So you need to understand the flow here. You need to understand the flow. Consumer can connect with the Make My Trip application to book a ticket. Okay, end user connecting with the Make My Trip. Then what Make My Trip will do? Make My Trip will take your data, will send to the provider in the JSON format. Passenger data will be sent to the provider in the JSON format. Then the provider will do the operation and will send again JSON as a response. Suppose, for example, some people want to go with GoIbibo. In the GoIbibo, 50% offer is available. Then some customers will go to GoIbibo in order to book the ticket. Then what GoIbibo will do? GoIbibo will collect your data and will send your data to the IRCTC in the JSON format. Then IRCTC will book the ticket, will send the JSON as a response back to the GoIbibo application. Here, IRCTC is acting as a provider and MakeMyTrip and GoIbibo acting as a consumers. IRCTC acting as a provider and MakeMyTrip GoIbibo acting as consumers. Consumer is communicating with the provider for B2B operation, for business to business operation. B2B operation, or we can say business to business operation. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? So what is a distributed application and what is the purpose of this distributed application and how the distributed applications are going to communicate? The distributed applications means one application is going to communicate with another application for business. For business, I told you. So MakeMyTrip want to provide the train tickets booking. GoIbibo want to provide the train tickets booking. But GoIbibo, MakeMyTrip are the private companies. So they don't know the Indian railway system. So that is the reason what they are doing. They are doing business partnership with the IRCTC. That means MakeMyTrip application, GoIbibo application will pay the money to the IRCTC for every ticket booking. So as I told you, Ashok IT people, Ashok IT project is sending WhatsApp messages to the customers regarding the new batches promotion. So my business is a training. So when the new batches are starting, I need to send the notification to my students regarding my new batch start date and a new batch Zoom link. So that is my business. For my business, to promote my business, I want to send the messages to the people in the WhatsApp. So to send a messages to the people in the WhatsApp, what I am going to do, I will communicate with the WhatsApp application. WhatsApp people will not send the messages for me for free of cost. So WhatsApp people will charge. For every message, I am paying 50 paisa. And for license, I am paying 35,000 per year. Yearly license 35,000. Per message, I am paying 50 paisa for the WhatsApp. And for my course, so people want to join for my courses. Okay, so they are attending the courses from different states, different countries. Online payment they want to do. Okay, so for online payment, Razorpay is already a website available. Instead of I am developing the logic for the payment gateway and all, I'm using the Razorpay payment gateway. Okay, so I can't communicate with the bank to deduct the amount from your account. So that's why my project will communicate with the Razorpay. What the Razorpay will do? Razorpay will not give me for free of cost. What the Razorpay will do? Boss, I will give you the payment gateway in your project. You can use my payment gateway in the project. Give me 2% commission. So if you are getting some amount, in that amount, 2% you give it to me, remaining amount I will give it to you. So if you pay some 1,000 rupees, so from 1,000 rupees they will take 2%, the remaining amount they will send to my account. So that will happen on the fly. Whenever you do the payment in the website, the amount directly will not come to my account. So whatever the course fees you are paying in the Razorpay, that amount will not come to my account directly. First, that amount will go to Razorpay. Whether you are paying 500 rupees or 5,000 or 10,000, how much amount you pay, first that amount will go to Razorpay bank account. From that, they will deduct 2%. The remaining amount, they will send it to my account after 24 hours of time. So that is the payment gateway integration. 2% commission I am paying. Similarly, Teachable People. Teachable People, it is a best platform. So there is no money for each transaction. So Teachable is yearly license, one-time payment. Yearly 1.5 lakh I am paying for Teachable. Then I can give the course videos access for the people. So like this, we are integrating. So our application with the other company projects. So Ashok IT project is developed by using Java. And this WhatsApp, Razorpay, Teachable, developed by using which technology, guys? I don't know. I don't know. So which technology they use it to develop? WhatsApp. Which technology they use it to develop? Razorpay. So Teachable developed by using which technology? I don't know this. But still we are able to communicate. How we are able to communicate? When I want to send a WhatsApp message to the student, Ashok IT website will send a JSON data to the WhatsApp. Using that JSON, WhatsApp will send a message. Same thing for Razorpay Teachable. So we are communicating from one application to another application by using JSON as a mediator. So in all these three projects, the communication will happen by using JSON only. And my front-end application is Angular, my back-end application is Spring Boot. Angular and Spring Boot are two different technologies. They are communicating by using JSON as a mediator. So JSON is going to play very important role when we are developing REST APIs or when we are developing distributed applications. They are going to play very important role. Are you guys able to understand my point? Are you guys able to understand my point? What is a web service? Web service nothing but it is a distributed technology which is used to develop distributed applications, guys. Okay, then so here as I told you, we are communicating with WhatsApp, we are communicating with Razorpay, we are communicating with Teachable. Like this multiple platforms we have integrated. Your Google Pay, when you are using Google Pay to transfer amount, Google Pay is one application from Google company and it is communicating with SBI Bank to deposit the amount, to deduct the amount. By using Google Pay, I am performing the transaction. By using Google Pay, I am performing the transaction. That means Google Pay project is communicating with our banking application. So can I say it is also a distributed application? Can I say it is also a distributed application now? Yes, that is also a distributed application. So REST API nothing but a distributed application. In the REST API development, when we are going to develop the REST APIs, provider and consumer will be available. Provider and consumer will be available. So one application will give the services for you, which is called provider. Another application will take the services, which is called consumer. So one consumer, one provider. And in the real time, for one provider, multiple consumers can be available. Make My Trip, Go Ibibo acting as consumers for the provider. And one application can act as a provider as well as consumer. Example, our backend application. For our front-end application, this is provider. For third-party applications, this is consumer. So Ashok IT backend project is giving the services to Ashok IT front-end application. And Ashok IT backend application taking the services from the WhatsApp, Razorpay, and Teachable. So business to business communication is available in our project. So consumer and provider will exchange the data by using JSON format. Sir, why we are going to use JSON? What is that JSON? Anybody having idea? What is JSON and why we are going to use JSON as part of our applications development? Anybody having any idea? What is JSON and why we are using JSON for our applications development, guys?
JSON is a JavaScript object notation. We are denoting everything in key value space so that when we give that key, we can access the value.
Everything we will represent in the key value format. Excellent. Any other answer from anyone else? What is the JSON and why we are going for JSON?
It is lightweight, I think.
JSON is lightweight. Excellent. Any other answer?
It's a data interchangeable format.
Sorry?
Data interchange format.
Data is interchange format. Okay.
It is widely accepted by many technologies.
This is widely accepted by many technologies in the market. Okay. So let us see what is JSON, guys. Let's understand what is JSON and how to work with JSON. Without having the knowledge on the JSON, you cannot develop REST APIs, guys. If you want to develop JSON, if you want to develop any REST API, then definitely you need to use the JSON format. Okay, good. Let's try to understand what is this JSON and how we are going to work with the JSON as a Java developer. How we are going to work with the JSON as a Java developer. Let us try to understand. So first one, what is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. The JSON full form, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And this JSON is going to represent the data in the key value format. So how we have the map in the Java, right? In the same way, JSON is used to represent the data in the form of key and value. So the example, Let us see the JSON structure now. How the JSON structure will be available. Curly brace will be available. So which is starting point of the JSON document, ending point of the JSON document, key value. So I'm going to give ID. ID is a key and a value, something like 101. Then I'm going to write key name here and the value I'm writing some value. If your value is a string, then we can write in the double quotes. If it is a number, directly you can write it. ID, name, and some phone number. Okay, so phone number, some value I'm writing. And the next one, some gender. So everything, if you observe, I'm writing in the form of key and value. This is the structure of the JSON. So JSON data will be represented like this. So when we are developing a distributed application, when you are developing a REST APIs, or when you are developing a full stack application, the communication will happen in this format only. Front-end application will give the data to back-end application in the JSON format. Back-end application will give the data to front-end application in the JSON format. And one application will communicate with the another application by using JSON as a mediator. What is that JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript object notation that will represent data in the key value format. So the data will be represented like this in the key value format. And this JSON is very lightweight, guys. JSON is very lightweight. That means, so when you are representing the data in the JSON format, it will occupy very less memory in the system. So when the program is executing, when it is using JSON, it is going to occupy less memory. That is the reason people will say that JSON is very lightweight. JSON is very lightweight. And another biggest advantage of using this JSON, that is JSON is interoperable. It will support by multiple languages. It support by multiple platforms. JSON is a platform independent and JSON is language independent. So Java can understand the JSON, Python can understand the JSON, .NET also can understand the JSON. JSON is a platform independent and language independent. So that's why we can call JSON is interoperable. JSON is interoperable. So any language, any technology can understand this JSON data easily because it is representing the data in the form of key and value. JSON is used to represent data in the key value, and it is mainly used to transfer data over a network. So when you want to transfer the data over a network, that means from one application to another application, consumer application, provider applications running in the two different systems, two different locations over a network, we want to transfer the data from one application to another application, then we are going to use JSON. JSON is used to transfer the data over a network. Okay, so the distributed applications will use JSON data for the request and response. Okay, when we are developing the web services, the provider application, consumer application will be available. They will use JSON to send the request. They will use JSON to send the response. So JSON stands for JavaScript object notation. It will represent the data in the key value format. This is the structure of the JSON. Key can be anything, value can be anything. Comma. So for the comma, we are going to use after one key value pair. This is called one entry, second entry, third entry. Key colon value. Key will be available in the double quotes, guys. And value, if your value is a string type, then we need to keep that in the double quotes. Okay, key will be, key is a string, key is a string, and key is a string, so we'll keep it in double quotes. If value is also string, if value is also a string, then keep it in double quotes. That's it. If it is a number, then directly I am writing ID 101, name Ashok, group of characters, I am writing in the double quote. Phone number, number, gender, group of characters, string, I am writing in the double quotes. Key is a string, so we'll keep it in the double quotes. If a value is also a string, then keep it in the double quotes. Okay, so JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation that represents data in the key value format. This is the example for JSON. Okay, so it is lightweight, less memory. Lightweight in the sense it will take less memory to store the data, and it is a platform independent and language independent. Java, Python, .NET, Angular, React, all these technologies can understand this JSON. So that's why it is called platform independent, language independent. That's why it is called as interoperable. So everybody can understand this JSON. JSON is used to transfer the data over a network, and distributed applications will use JSON data for the request and response, consumer and provider. So when I say here, Make My Trip application is available, and this Make My Trip application is going to connect with the IRCTC application. IRCTC application will connect with the Make My Trip application by using JSON only. JSON is used as a mediator between two applications. Okay, good. Next one, how to work with JSON in the Java applications. So I have the data in the Java object. I have the data in the Java object. I want to convert my Java object data to JSON data, or I want to convert the JSON data to Java object. So working with JSON in the Java applications, guys. So Java means it is object-oriented programming language. Everything we will represent in the form of one object. So this is, assume that this is my Java object. Okay, so this is my Java object. Employee object or student object, passenger object, ticket object, any Java object. Now this Java object I want to convert into JSON data. Java object I want to convert into JSON data. All right. So the process of converting Java object to JSON data is called as serialization. What is this? We are going to call this as a serialization. Converting Java object to JSON data is called serialization. Normally in the Java IO package, you learned serialization, deserialization, right? Converting the Java object into bits and bytes is called serialization. Converting the bits and bytes back to Java object is called deserialization. That is with respect to Java IO streams. But now we am talking about JSON. So I have my Java object. I want to represent that Java object in the JSON. For that we will use serialization concept. So converting Java object to JSON is called serialization. Converting JSON data back to Java object is called deserialization. So how to perform this JSON serialization and JSON deserialization? Okay, in order to do this, we are having third-party APIs. One is called Jackson, another one is called JSON. Okay, so directly we can't perform Java object to JSON, JSON to Java object conversion. Directly you can't do the conversion here. So if you want to convert your Java object to JSON and JSON object to Java, then we need to use third-party API. What is the third-party API? One is Jackson API, another one is JSON API. Java applications can use JSON data. So in Java applications, we can represent data in the JSON format. In Java applications, we can represent data in JSON format. To work with JSON in the Java, we have third-party libraries. Direct support is not available, guys. If you want to represent JSON data in the Java application, then we need to use third-party libraries. So what are the third-party libraries available? One is Jackson API, another one is JSON API is available. Both are from third party. Third party means other company projects. Okay, JSON is given by Google. So JSON is a Google API. Google provided this. By using this, we can convert Java object to JSON data to Java object. By using above libraries, we can convert JSON data to Java object and vice versa. So when you are developing the REST API, we are going to use this Jackson or JSON APIs. So the process of converting Java object to JSON data is called serialization, and the process of converting JSON data back to Java object is called deserialization. The process of converting Java object to JSON is called as serialization, and the process of converting JSON back to Java is called as deserialization. Are you guys able to follow me? What is the serialization and what is the deserialization now? Can you read these points? What is the serialization and what is the deserialization? Can you please read about that? What is the serialization and what is the deserialization? The process of converting Java object to JSON data is called as a serialization. The process of converting JSON data back to Java object is called as deserialization. So to perform serialization and deserialization, we are going to use third-party APIs. What are the third-party APIs available? There are two third-party APIs available. One is called Jackson API and another one is JSON API. One is a Jackson API and another one is JSON API. Is this clear? Are you guys able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quickly read it. What is JSON and why we are going for JSON? What is JSON and why we are going for JSON? Just read the points. Before going to start the example, just read the point. If you understand theoretically what is JSON, why we are going for JSON, then we will start the practicals.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So even if we know the other application is also using same technology, we use JSON only, right?
Yes. Even if the consumer and the provider also same technology, we will use JSON only.
Yeah.
Ashok, if let's say if two applications or two APIs are communicating using the communication is like an image or a video, then how does JSON support videos and audio?
Yes, sir. We can send that. We can send that to an image also. Binary data also we can send it. As a multi-part file, we are going to send that binary image also.
But which is recommended, sir? Sending directly the binary data or giving the memory?
Combination we can send, sir. Binary data. When you are sending the JSON, you can send the path of that file, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes.
So what is BSON, sir?
Sorry?
What is BSON, sir? BSON data.
BSON.
Yes, sir.
No, sir, I have no idea. Is it another API to convert Java to JSON?
Okay.
I know these two APIs. I don't know BSON. Maybe it is another API that we have.
Okay, sir.
Sir, only JSON or is there any other tool or technology, please?
Currently, only JSON we are using. Earlier, people used XML to exchange the data, but XML got outdated. Currently, only JSON we are using.
Is
Before this,
serialization and deserialization same as marshalling and demarshalling?
Yes, sir. That when you are going for XML, it is called marshalling and unmarshalling. But when you go for JSON, it is called serialization and deserialization. If you are using XML, then you are right. Marshalling, unmarshalling, we are going to use. But currently, XML is outdated. People are not using XML for the projects.
Sir, is JSON belongs to JavaScript, sir?
It's not belongs to anybody. JavaScript can use this JSON. JavaScript can use the JSON, Java can use it, Python can use it, Angular can use, React can use, everybody. It is language independent and it is platform independent. Anybody can use it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, right now I think YML is pending, right?
YML is for only configuration purpose, sir, not to exchange the data. JSON is used to exchange the data. YML is used for configuration purpose. Whatever the configurations we will do earlier by using XML and properties files, that configuration we are doing by using YML files now. For exchanging the data, we are using JSON format.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, are you clear with this one? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is going to represent data in the key value format like this. So JSON is very lightweight and it is interoperable. So it supports multiple platforms. It supports multiple languages also. And if you want to work with JSON data in the Java application, then we need to use some APIs like Jackson API and JSON API where you need to use. So by using these libraries, we can convert JSON data to Java object and Java object back to JSON data. The process of converting Java object to JSON is called as serialization. The process of converting JSON back to Java object is called as deserialization. So you can see this diagram. I will keep this in the notes after the class is completed. So there is a Word document, right? I will add this in the document along with the diagram and I will upload in the portal. So for now, just refer this Java object and JSON data. Converting Java to JSON is called serialization. Converting JSON back to Java is called deserialization. To perform this operation, we are going to use Jackson or JSON APIs.
Sir, what is Jersey, please?
Jersey is that is a different when you want to implement the REST APIs by using JAX RS API, then we will go for Jersey implementation. Earlier, that is old approach. Currently, we are doing everything with the Spring Boot. Jersey is one implementation for JAX RS to develop the REST APIs. Okay, is this clear for all of you? Right. Now let's try to create one project by using Jackson API. Okay, so I will go to my IDE and I will create one workspace. In this, I will develop one project by using Jackson API and I will show you how to convert that Java object to JSON, JSON to Java object programmatically. We are going to do this. I'm going to create one Maven project, normal Maven project, not Spring Boot, guys. So if you are using Spring Boot, then you no need to add that dependency also, because Jackson dependency will be available by default in the Spring Boot application. So if you create a boot application, then this is Jackson API is by default. You no need to add anything for that. You no need to add anything for that. Directly it will be available. So if you want to do this programmatically, I'm taking one normal Java project with Jackson API and I will show you. Create one simple Maven project. I'm creating one simple Maven project. Click on next, group ID, in.ashok ID, something like this, artifact ID 01 Jackson application. Jackson application, click on finish. So with this, my project is created. So in this project, we need to add one dependency, guys. So as I told you, for the Jackson API, we need to add one dependency. Jackson is not from Sun Microsystem, not from Oracle, guys. It is a third party. So this is the dependency we need to add in the pom.xml. So why we are adding this? Because create a normal Maven project. Create Maven project using IDE. Okay, then add the dependency in the pom.xml. This is the dependency. Go to our project pom.xml file. So it's a simple Maven project. Remember, it's not a Spring Boot project. So if it is a Spring Boot project, you no need to add the dependency, guys. It will be available by default. So it is a normal Java Maven project. So I'm adding the dependencies here. As it is a third party means other company developed it. So let me add the dependencies. I'm waiting for that tag to be available. It's taking time.
I think first you need to write dependency management.
No, it will come. Control space. Yes. Now in this I'm writing dependency, guys. So if you observe Jackson core dependency, Jackson data bind dependency, I'm adding 2.17 version. So when you add this Jackson dependency, it will download the related jar files in order to work with the JSON data in the Java application. Okay, once it is done, let us do a Maven update. Pom.xml having some issues. Right click, Maven update project, force update. It will download the dependencies that are required for that application. Now new class. I'm creating one simple class in.ashokit package I'm using, and the class name, let me take it as a customer, any class. Okay, I'm taking one customer class to store the data in the form of one object. So I'm taking private integer ID, private string name, and private long phone number, and private string gender. So for this I'm writing setter methods and getter methods, guys. So let me generate the setters and getters. Source, generate getters and setters for all these variables. To print the data of the object, source, toString method I'm generating. Right. So if you are using Lombok, then you can use @data annotation. So currently there is no Lombok here. That's why I'm writing setter methods and getter methods manually. ToString method also I'm writing. So this is my Java class, which is a simple POJO having some variables. Customer class I have created. Create one binding class to represent your data. So the third step, create one class to represent data. So here you can write setters and getters, and you write toString method. If you use a Lombok, then no need of that. So what I have done now is I created one Maven project. Then in that Maven project, I added Jackson dependency. Then I created one Java class called customer, which is used to represent my data in the form of object. Then let me create one more Java class, new Java class, my app class I'm creating. Inside this app class, I will write one method, public void convert Java to JSON. So this is a method I'm writing to convert my Java object to JSON data. First, let me take the JSON Java object. Customer C is equal to new customer. Let me set the data for my customer object. Let me set the data to my customer object. Okay. Then C dot set ID. So customer ID something like 101. C dot set a name. Okay. So I'm setting some customer name here, some John or some value. Okay. Then C dot set phone number. Right. Some number, long value. Then set gender. C dot set gender. Okay. So with this, my Java object is ready. My data is available in the form of Java object. Now I want to convert that Java object into this JSON format. Now I want to convert that Java object into this JSON format. For that, we are using Jackson API. To convert that Java object into JSON format only, we are going to use this Jackson API. Are you able to follow me? Jackson API is our API or it is a third-party API, guys? Jackson is our API, Java provided API, or it is provided by third party?
Third party.
Third party API.
Third party. What is the meaning of third party? What do you mean by third party, guys?
Other companies developed.
It is developed by other companies. So when we say third party, that means it is developed by other companies. Now, so this Jackson API provided some classes to perform the conversion. Now I want to perform serialization. What is the meaning of serialization here? Guys, what is the meaning of serialization here?
Process of converting Java
Java
to JSON
object
object.
to JSON. I want to convert my Java object to JSON. So for this, what we do is we are going to use one predefined class. That predefined class is object mapper. Jackson provided one predefined class called object mapper. Object mapper, mapper is equal to new object mapper. Okay, I'm creating the object for a predefined class called object mapper, which is provided by Jackson. And for this object mapper, we are going to, in this object mapper, there is a method mapper dot write value method is available. Write value method is available. So here I'm going to give new file. My file name is customer.json, comma, the object that I want to convert to this JSON is customer object C. Okay, object mapper is provided one method called write value method, and I want to write that value to one file. File F is equal to new file. I want to convert customer object data into customer JSON. That JSON should be stored into one file, guys. Throws exception. Okay. So this file object I'm giving as a first parameter, and the second parameter is customer object we are passing. Convert Java object to JSON data. Convert Java object to JSON data. Are you able to understand the logic that I am writing now? Are you guys able to understand the logic that I am writing? First I have created customer object. Then I'm taking one file. So in which file you want to store it? In which file that you want to store it, that we are taking here. Right? File customer.json. In my project, there is no file available with a name called customer.json. You can check the project, you can refresh it. There is no JSON file available. Now I am writing object mapper, mapper is equal to new object mapper. It is used to convert. It is used to basically perform serialization and deserialization. Object mapper is a predefined class that is provided by Jackson API. By using that object mapper, you can convert Java object to JSON, and you can convert JSON data back to Java object. So mapper.write value is a method. System.out.println, serialization completed. Just for our understanding, I'm keeping one message on the console. Serialization got completed. Look at this. Any confusion in this logic?
Sir, object mapper class, what is the use of that class?
That class only providing the method for you, no?
Right value. Okay.
Sir, where this file is stored, sir? Customer.
In the project location only.
The same project location?
Yes.
Sir, we need not have the file, right? It will create the file.
It will create the file, yes. Currently, file is not available. It will create the file and it will store the data in that file. So if you give file object here, that will convert your customer data to customer object. Currently, can I say this is customer object with data? I created one object for the customer class, yes, and I'm storing the data in the object. Now, that customer object data, I want to convert into JSON. So where do you want to keep that JSON? Do you want to keep in the file or do you want to print on the console? It's up to you. If you take the file object as a parameter, it will store that JSON into file. Suppose I don't want file, I will write system.out. If I write system.out, what is the meaning of that?
It will be going to print it on the console.
It will print on the console. That's it. So it is your choice. Do you want to keep that JSON into a file, or you want to print that JSON on the console? I want to keep it on the file. That's why I'm taking one file object. That write value method is taking, first one is the file, second one is which object you want to convert. So this object mapper is a class provided by Jackson API. Using this class, you can perform serialization, deserialization. To perform the serialization, what is the method they have given, guys? What is the method is available to perform serialization? Write value. What is the method we are calling to perform serialization? Write value. Who provided this write value method? Is it our method, or it is provided by Jackson API? Write value is our method, or it is a Jackson API method?
Jackson API method.
Jackson API method. Similarly, if you want to perform the deserialization, there is a method called read value method is available. That is used to perform the deserialization. So to perform the serialization, write value. To perform the deserialization, read value method is available. Currently, I am performing the serialization. So that's why I'm calling this one called write value. So where it is going to write, I'm giving a file, customer.json. Currently in this project, do we have customer.json or we don't have customer.json? We don't have customer.json. Let's run this application. Run as Java application. Main method is required. Okay, let me write a main method and app a is equal to new app a dot convert Java to JSON. There is an exception. So let me ignore it by using throws keyword. Throws exception. All right. So this is my app class. I created an object and I'm calling the method called convert to JSON. In the convert to JSON method, what is the logic? I'm taking one customer class object. In that object, I'm storing some data. Then I'm taking one file object. So in that file, I want to create a file called customer.json. That file is currently not available. So it is going to create that file when this application is executed. And I'm calling object mapper class object I created. Object mapper is our class. Object mapper is Jackson class.
Jackson.
Object mapper is our class, or is it a Jackson class?
Jackson class.
Jackson class.
So in that object mapper, there is one method called write value method is available. So what is the purpose of this write value method, guys?
It performs serialization.
It will perform the serialization. What is the meaning of serialization?
Process of converting Java object to JSON.
It is the process of converting our Java object to JSON data. Now it will store that JSON data into a file called customer.json. Suppose I don't want to store in the file, I want to print on the console. Is it possible to print on the console?
Yes, it is.
Yes, you can do that also. But if you give system.out, then we'll print that JSON data in the console. Currently, I want to store in the file because I want to show you deserialization also. For the deserialization, I need that file. So that's why I'm storing that JSON data to a file now. Refresh this project. Go to this app, run this, run as Java application. Console. Serialization completed. Refresh the project. Now you can see customer.json file is created. Open the customer.json file. Now you see the data is converted in the JSON format. Whatever the object is available, object is converted to JSON. So ID 101, name Ashok, phone number given value, gender male. If you press Ctrl Shift F, it will be formatted properly like a JSON. So whatever the customer object is available, that customer object we converted to customer JSON. Let me remove this JSON file and let me run it again. I'm deleting that file, guys. So JSON file is currently not available. You can check it. So pom.xml, only XML file available. There is no JSON file available in the project. So go to app and run this. Run as Java application. Serialization completed. Refresh the project. Check it. customer JSON created. Open this JSON. Yes, data is available. Control Shift F to format it, pretty printing. Yes, we are able to see the JSON. So Java object we are able to convert into JSON by using write value method. That write value method is provided by object mapper. Object mapper is a predefined class available in the Jackson API. Jackson API is a third-party API which is used to deal with JSON data in the Java applications. Earlier, people used XML. When we developed SOAP web services, then people used XML. When I started my teaching career in 2015-2016, at that time, I used to teach SOAP web services also for the people. Because at that time, SOAP is available in the market. At that time, SOAP is available in the market. When you go for SOAP web services, XML files we are going to use. At that time, we will convert Java object to XML, XML to Java object. To convert Java to XML, XML to Java, we used JAX-B API. But later point of time, this SOAP web services got outdated in the market. SOAP web services got outdated in the market. Currently, we are going for the RESTful services. So when we go for the RESTful services, you can use both XML and JSON. Currently, I am working with the JSON. Later, I will show you how to work with the XML also, but it is outdated. People are not using. Just one example I will show you with XML. How to convert Java object to XML, XML to Java. Currently, we are converting Java to JSON, JSON to Java. Same thing we can do with the XML also. If you want to go with XML, there is a other API. That is the JAX-B API is available. Java architecture for XML binding. JAX-B API concept will be used when you want to convert Java object to XML, XML to Java. Are you guys able to follow me? Yes. Now, similarly, can we perform deserialization, guys? Can we perform deserialization now?
Sure.
People are not responding.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of deserialization?
Converting a JSON
Converting the JSON from a data to Java object.
Converting the JSON back to Java. So which class we need to use to perform the deserialization?
Object mapper.
Read value.
Object mapper. What is the method available?
read value.
Read
value.
value.
Read value method.
Read value. Write value is used for serialization. Read value is used for deserialization. Let me write one more method. Now convert JSON to Java. Public void convert JSON to Java. Already JSON is available. That is a file, customer.json. The file is already available. Now what I will do, simply I will create object mapper. Mapper is equal to new object mapper. Object mapper, mapper is equal to new object mapper, and I will use mapper dot read value. Where is the value available? My value is available in a file. Object mapper dot read value. My data is available in a file. Customer.json file contains my JSON data. I'm giving that file as a first parameter for read value. I want to read the data and I want to store that data into customer object. Read value I'm using and I'm going to store that into customer object. Throws exception. Okay, mapper dot read value file comma object, that is customer object, system.out.println of our customer object.
But the customer.json file is already available, sir.
Yes, sir. That is
Why
already
we need
available,
to create a new file? Yeah.
I'm not creating, sir. I'm reading that file.
Reading it. Okay.
This is not for creation. This is to locate the file.
Okay. Got you.
A dot convert JSON to Java. Earlier, Java to JSON we already completed. Okay, now I have commented this method. Now I am calling convert JSON to Java. It is going to load the file customer.json. Then I am using object mapper, and here I am performing deserialization. Read value method I am using. So what is the meaning of this? Read value. So this is the file. In that file, some JSON data available. You read that JSON data, you map it to the customer.class. When you are mapping to the customer.class, it will check. It will check based on the key. So whatever the key available in the JSON, that key should match with the variable of our class. That key should match with the variable of that class. Okay, so if the key is matching with the variable, that value will be stored into our variable. That will be taken care by read value method, which is performed by object mapper deserialization. So I performed serialization. I converted my Java object to JSON. That JSON data is available in the file. Now I want to read the data from the file and I want to store back into my Java object. Are you guys able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, exceptions, we only need to expect where exception will occur. We need to write that throws.
Yeah, we need to keep in the try-catch blocks.
For third-party exceptions also, exception is a super class for that. So,
yes, just I'm ignoring these exceptions. Whatever, these all are checked exceptions. So I'm just using throws exception. So I'm going to ignore that exception that I'm getting. Okay. Now let's do this one. So what I'm trying to do is I'm calling the read value method. When I call the read value method, it will take the data from the JSON file. It will convert into customer object. Customer object I'm printing on the console. When you print object on the console, it will call the toString method of the object. Okay, good. Right click, run as Java application. Now we should get the customer object data. Yes, are we able to get the JSON data back to Java object? Deserialization working?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deserialization is working. So whatever the data is available in the JSON file, we are able to convert that JSON data back to Java object. So we used Jackson API in order to perform this operation. Now look at this code. Convert JSON to Java and convert Java to JSON. So simple. Object mapper class we are using. Object mapper class provided two methods. One method is read value, another method is write value. Read value method to perform deserialization, write value method to perform serialization. That's it. Java to JSON, JSON to Java. So when we are developing REST APIs or when we are developing full stack applications, JSON data will be used in the Java application. Now you got the clarity how that JSON looks like, how to convert Java to JSON and JSON to Java. Is this clear for everybody? Anybody not able to understand what is the JSON and why we need to go for JSON? Anybody not able to understand what is the JSON and why we need to go for JSON? Come on, guys. What is the JSON and why we need to go for JSON? Anyone not able to understand? What is the object mapper? What is the serialization? What is the deserialization? Anyone not able to understand? If you have any questions, you can ask me. JSON data looks like this. Let me give you a screenshot of it. Any questions, anybody on the Jackson API? So this is the structure of the JSON. So it is used to store the data in the form of key value. JSON is very lightweight. It is platform independent, language independent. That's why it is called as interoperable. So distributed applications will use JSON data for the request and response. So how we are going to work with the JSON data in the Java applications? To work with the JSON data in the Java applications, we have two APIs. One is Jackson API, another one is JSON API. So the process of converting Java object to JSON, JSON to Java object is called serialization. Okay, so to perform the Java to JSON, JSON to Java, we are going to use the Jackson API. So by using Jackson API, we can perform serialization as well as deserialization also. So to perform that serialization and deserialization, we are using one predefined class that is provided by Jackson API. That predefined class is object mapper. So the object mapper is a predefined class available in the Jackson API. Suppose if you go for JSON API, guys, if you go for JSON API, then come on, if you go for JSON API, then what will happen? If you go for JSON API, then what are the methods we need to use? If you go for JSON API, what are the methods we need to use?
Two JSON method is used, sir.
If you go for JSON API, different class and different methods will be available. Can you quickly search in the internet now how to convert Java to JSON, JSON to Java by using JSON API? Can you tell me what is the class available and what is the method available in the JSON?
JSON class is available.
JSON are the methods we can use.
Sorry, which class?
JSON class available. JSON class. Inside the JSON class, two JSON method is available.
So we have JSON class available. JSON class is having two JSON from JSON.
Yes.
There is a predefined method called from JSON to JSON method is available that is used to convert the Java object to JSON, JSON data to the Java object. Okay, so I have given the notes also what we discussed today. So today we discussed mainly about what is JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation that represents data in the key value format. This is the structure. So JSON is very lightweight, platform independent and language independent. So in order to work with the JSON in the Java applications, we have two APIs. One is the Jackson API and another one is JSON API. So by using that, we can perform serialization and deserialization. Write value, read value methods we are having in the Jackson API. Okay, Jackson API, how to work with that? Create a Maven project by using IDE. Then in that Maven project, we need to add one dependency, guys. So Jackson dependency I added manually. Using that dependency, you can use object mapper class, which is available in the Jackson API. Suppose if you want to go with the JSON, then different dependency will be available for that. If you are using Spring Boot, you no need to add the dependency also. Boot will provide that dependency for you. So once that is done, you created one customer class that is binding class to represent our data. This is a method, convert JSON to Java. This is a method to convert Java to JSON. Okay. I hope it is clear for everyone. Next task, guys. So I want you people to practice JSON also one example. Just like this, we can add the JSON dependency and we can use from JSON to JSON methods available to convert the Java object to JSON data and the JSON data to Java object. JSON API, if you want to use a JSON API, so this is how it looks like, guys. If you want to go with the JSON API, so my code is also available in my GitHub repository, how to work with the JSON API. So if you want to go with the JSON API, the dependency I have given below. Instead of Jackson, you can go with the JSON also, but functionally there is no difference here, both are same. I have given my GitHub repository to work with the JSON. The project is available in the GitHub. This is the dependency you need to work. You need to add in the pom.xml. They provided a predefined class called JSON class is provided. So two JSON from JSON methods are available. Two JSON from JSON methods are available. So two JSON to convert Java to JSON, from JSON to perform deserialization. From the JSON file, we will convert into Java object. If you want to work with the JSON API, this dependency you need to add. This is the predefined class available. These are the methods available. When you go for Jackson, object mapper is the class. So for the JSON project, the code is available in the Git repository. I have given the Git repository example here. So I hope we're good. So in the tomorrow session, we need to understand about HTTP protocol, guys. So if you want to develop any REST API or any web services, understanding HTTP protocol is very, very, very important. So before coming to tomorrow session, I want you people to do some research on the HTTP protocol. What is HTTP protocol? What are the HTTP methods available? What are the HTTP status codes available? What is the HTTP structure? What is HTTP request structure? What is the HTTP response structure that you need to understand before coming to tomorrow's session? Can you guys do that? Can you guys do some research on the HTTP protocol before
Yes,
coming
sir.
to tomorrow's session?
Yes.
What you need to learn from the HTTP protocol? What topics you need to prepare from HTTP protocol? What is HTTP and what is HTTP request? What is HTTP response? What is HTTP request? What is HTTP response? What are the HTTP methods available? What are the HTTP status codes available? So tomorrow I will ask the questions. If you guys give the answer, then only I will continue the class. So I want everybody to go through HTTP protocol before coming to tomorrow's session. So if you don't answer my questions, then class will not happen. So please keep that in mind. Do some self-learning before coming to the class. So material I have updated in the portal. Can you guys check it and confirm? Are you able to access latest notes?
So,
Yes.
so in real time, which one is preferred, sir? Like JSON or Jackson?
Jackson. By default in the Spring Boot, Jackson API will come.
Okay.
Sir, what is Pojo class, sir?
Any Java class which is having variables with setters methods is called Pojo class. Okay.
Sir, can you
Perfect.
show the postman also, sir?
Yeah, in the coming classes we are going to learn that.
To test the REST APIs, we need to develop the REST APIs also, no, sir?
Yep, madam. So the coming classes, once HTTP protocol is completed, then we will start.
Sure, thank you.
Sir, when deserializing, right? Like data types also it will check what
Sorry, data types also you will check, sir.
data types. So like then how it will map, sir? Like in JSON there will be also in JSON also there will be data type concept like only string and
yes, string data types, list data types will be available in the coming classes. We will see that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys, good. Thank you. Are you able to access the latest notes? Guys, are you able to access the latest notes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please do the practice of JSON using Jackson and JSON. We'll meet again in the tomorrow session. And remember, tomorrow I will ask some questions on the HTTP protocol. You need to answer my questions. Then only we'll continue the class. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Aftab.
Happy Teachers Day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.